What's up, Convoy? This is a little update video for you guys. First and foremost, it's been a long time since you saw my face on a video. I just want to let you guys know that I am still here. And the reason I've taken a step back from YouTube and social media, because there was a lot of you across all social media platforms, Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, whatever. I deleted a ton of you guys, not because I didn't want you guys as, the contact, but because I kind of shifted gears within the industry. And I don't drive anymore, for those of you who don't know. My last couple of videos have indicated that. I fix trucks now. About the last 3 years, I've been fixing trucks. I've been a truck mechanic. And for those of you who followed me for a while would know that I also had a second career of fixing cars. I made some videos about that in the past. And now I've kind of merged both of my career paths into one, and now I fix trucks. I don't drive trucks anymore. First, I fixed cars, and then I drove trucks, and then I went back to fixing cars, went back to driving trucks. It was kind of back and forth. And then now I decided, why don't I try to merge those and fix trucks? So for the last 3 years, I've been a truck mechanic, which has been amazing for me. It's been great. It's been so amazing for me. I went from being very unhappy with one career. I got to take a step back from that and explain this a little bit. Driving trucks was great. I love driving trucks, and then when I first started driving trucks, it was amazing. I loved going to different places, the adventure, the newness, everything about it. It was amazing. It was incredible. And then after a while, got familiar with it, realized how things work, the politics, the bullshit part of the industry of driving. I really started hating it, and I feel like those of you who've been around for a while could see that. I was pretty transparent in my videos about me being pretty upset about driving. So then I realized something had to change. So I went from over the road, and I moved around a little bit over the road, and then I went dedicated for a while. And then after being dedicated for a while, I still wasn't happy. So I decided I was going to do a temp service. And I went to a temp service, and they put me with a company, which the temp service is great. There was nothing wrong with being with a temp service, because every day I could be with a different company. I could say I want to work, I don't want to work, whatever the case was. It was completely up to me, 100% my decision. This was a great temp service. But I decided, okay, they gave me an assignment. I said I was cool with it. I'd do it. And they placed me with a mail contractor out of Detroit. And I picked up a load. And then I went to this company's terminal in Detroit. And that's where this company fueled at. All the fuel for their trucks came from the terminal. They didn't fuel at Pilots or Flying J's or TAs or nothing. And when you fueled at this company's terminal, one of the mechanics would come out and they would check your lights and tires and everything. I just started talking to one of the mechanics, and me, just being social and friendly, I had told him, I used to fix stuff in my past, and he had told me that, we're looking for mechanics. And I said, well, I never fixed trucks before. I fixed cars. I never worked on trucks. He said, we don't care. The industry right now is so bad that if you could hold a wrench, you could be a mechanic at this company. So I decided, okay, give me some information. And then I had, a couple of days later, I had talked to the owner of that company. He said, yeah, we're interested. We want you to wrench for us. You live close by. You're right here. So I decided to give it a go. And I started fixing trucks for that particular company. It was a mail contractor out of Detroit. And they had a fleet of Volvos, pretty much. And I loved it. Loved every part of it. Except the hours. I was put on night shift from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. And that didn't really work for me. I mean, it did for a while. I did that for 2 years. And working for a male contractor, you don't really have set hours. I found out. Even though I had a schedule that said I worked from 7 p.m. to 5 a.m., that never happened. I was came in early, left late. Which the money was great. I loved that part of it, but I had no life. So after a couple years of doing that, I decided to make a change. I went to another fleet. They were hauling auto parts out of Detroit. And I liked that for a while. And they had another fleet of Volvos. So apparently by this time, I was very familiar with fixing Volvo trucks. D13 engines, D12 engines, D11s. I was very familiar with Volvo trucks. But the second company I had went to, I worked there for about 9 months. And they were really focused on like PMs, like, oil changes, tires, maintenance kind of items. That really wasn't what I really wanted to do. So I had a friend that I had grew up with, went to high school with and stuff. He worked for a Kenworth dealership out of Detroit. And he had texted me while actually he originally texted me when I was working for the mail contractor. And I had told him, dude, I have no interest in working on Kenworths. I know nothing about Kenworth. I'll pass. I'll pass on your offer. I appreciate it, but I'll pass. And then there was a little bit of a disagreement between me and the shop foreman at the auto parts place I had went to after the mail contractor, because I wanted to get into more stuff. I wanted to get into more advanced, bigger jobs and stuff. And, for instance, if they wanted to do a clutch or leaf springs or engine work, they would send to the dealer. They were really more focused on preventative maintenance stuff. So I really started thinking, and I had talked to my friend I had grown up with working at the Kenworth dealership, and I just kind of put the feeler out. And he said, dude, just come talk to our shop foreman over here and make your decision. So I did. I went there. I told them that I know Volvos. I never put hands on a Kenworth in my life. I knew Kenworths ran a lot of Cummins motors, a lot of Cat motors, a lot of PACCAR MX-13 stuff, whatever. And I didn't really know. He said, we need technicians bad. He goes, they're all pretty much the same thing, just a little bit different. They all do the same function. So I decided to give it a shot. And my main goal was to learn. I always want to learn something new, something I don't know, something kind of get out of my comfort zone and learn something new. So I said, okay, I'll make the move. Went to the Kenworth dealer. Been here about 3 months now, and it's been amazing. I've learned so much. Everybody I work with is great. The dealership itself is amazing, and yeah, I'm so happy I went there. But part of the reason tonight I'm making this video is because last night I received an email from a producer from an HBO show. It's a big name, John Oliver, for those of you who are familiar. He has a show on HBO. This producer had come across my video where I had done an interview with ABC's 2020. For those of you who are seeing this who don't know, I did an interview several years ago with 2020, and it was great. There was a lot of good things that happened from that video. But this HBO show, they're now thinking about doing a complete episode on the bad treatment of truck drivers within the industry. Especially, they asked me a lot of questions about being a company driver, and they asked me about lease purchase and what a scam it is and stuff. Like, I could tell by talking to this lady that she was just learning about it herself. So I give her a lot of insight, a lot of stuff, a lot of my own experiences. And she was very interested. Now, they're still in the research and development stage of the episode. It may never happen. I'm not 100% sure, but I really hope it does, because even though it's been a few years since I drove, being that I work for fleets and I saw how drivers were treated and the pay they got and everything associated with driving on their end, and now being with a dealership fixing trucks, I see drivers and how they're treated, especially the owner operators and stuff who have to pay for this stuff. I mean, the dealership I work for charges drivers $155 an hour, whether it's the driver or the company or whoever's paying for it. It's still $155 an hour. That's a very high rate. Now I understand why they charge that much, because big trucks, big bucks. I mean, it's always been that way. You know, you find a good, competent technician at a place that can fix your truck, it's going to cost you some money. I remember working for the mail contractor, middle of the night, like 3, 4 in the morning on a Sunday, and one of our drivers was down in Indianapolis. I couldn't get to him. He had a load, he had to pick up, he had to go. His truck wouldn't start, he left his lights on. And finding a road service to come out and jump him cost $400. So there's a lot of unfair treatment towards drivers and companies and stuff, but the focus of the HBO episode would be on the driver themselves. And she asked me a lot about, for those of you who have seen The Ugly Truth of Trucking on my channel, that was my big viral video. They asked me a lot of questions about that, and that is kind of an industry-wide thing that happens, and not every company is like that, not every driver experiences that, but a lot of drivers have. And I had posted something on Facebook several days before that about how drivers are treated, and it's not fair, it's not fun, it's kind of shitty how drivers are treated. And I would like to further put out, especially being a few years removed from driving, but still being in the industry, I would like to put out some more information about that. And I know a lot of drivers watch my channel, and if this episode on HBO does happen, I would like your input. I would definitely take all of your questions, cares, and concerns in consideration down in the comment section. So if you guys have anything relevant to say, seriously, I will forward that to the producer of this HBO show, and I hope to continue to make a difference. I mean, I know that video, The Ugly Truth of Trucking, helped pass the coercion law, to where companies would get fined $10,000 for trying to, if they were caught trying to push a driver when he said he or she was not safe to continue. So I feel like I've made an impact so far in the industry, and I would like to continue to make a positive impact. So if you guys have any questions, cares, or concerns, leave it down in the comments section. And this little conversation with this producer of the show has inspired me to upload more stuff. There's going to be, I hope to make a new series on YouTube here that, being that I'm a few years removed from driving, but still in the industry, talk about a lot of the negativity comes with driving. So leave me some comments. I would love to reflect and make videos on some of your guys' concerns. So you guys know what to do. As always, run hard, get paid.